Hello, everyone. I'm Rob McChain, Vice President of Marketing with VirtualHealth, and we're here today for another Future of Care chat. Today is on a topic that is near and dear to everyone's hearts in the healthcare space, which is analytics and insights. Good care can't be delivered without good data. So today we're talking with Kelechi Erondu, our Director of Analytics, and he's going to walk us through some of the new features and functions we have related to analytics and insights in the platform. So I guess, Kelechi, to kick things off, what has your team put together? What have you all built that we're talking about today?
Absolutely. Happy to be here and touch on what we're building from an analytics standpoint. So as director of analytics, my main kind of mandate is to help and support our customers, right, with extracting insights related to the workflows that are done within the Helios platform, right? And I think what differentiates Helios current state, right, is from other kind of competitors is a few things. One, the configurability of the platform allows for our customers to really fine tune and apply their kind of very specific workflows within the Helios platform. So, care management, utilization management, there's a general process, right, to essentially complete the care management episode or program or the utilization authorization appeal grievance. The goal is to get from start to finish in the most efficient manner. And again, the configurability of the platform allows our customers to really apply specific details with regards to that process within the platform. And then the platform is very usable with regards to the UX. They can actually implement those workflows within the system where you have that automation through triggers and rules, so they can complete those workflows as efficiently as possible. But I think where the opportunity comes from, and this is where analytics comes into place, is having that visibility really to kind of see how effective our customers are in implementing those workflows, right? So that I see as the third piece that is necessary to allow for what I like to call a kind of very healthy feedback loop, right, with regards to your customers who are configuring the system to apply their workflows, implementing those workflows within the platform, and then checking to see how well or maybe not well they're completing those workflows, and then making adjustments as needed to those configurations, and then that cycle repeats itself. So from a productization standpoint, I have a few things that we are, the analytics team is looking to implement very soon. The main one being the HELIOSinsights product. So, the idea here is to really kind of speed up, that iteration with regards to understanding how effective they are in implementing their workflows in Helios. And just to go back a bit, current state, what we do in terms of an analytics, resource is we provide a replicated database that captures essentially all the transactions of the customer's instance within it. And typically our customers use that data, right, and move it into their own environment to run and they perform their own kind of analytics. Perhaps they're building their own dashboards to, again, understand how effective they are in those workflows. And, that process takes a lot of time, right? You need your internal team to understand Helios data first. Then you need to migrate the data into your environment. That takes time. And also there are costs associated with that as well. And once you move the data into your environments, then you build your own dashboards. With HELIOSinsights, we want to remove that work and energy full stop, right? Kind of similar to the configurability of the Helios platform, we want to have that same type of configurability ready out of the box, right, within the platform. So I'm talking about embedded dashboards, right, that capture, those metrics that our customers care about. So from a CM or care management standpoint, they care about, again, moving these programs, care management programs, from start to finish in the most efficient manner, and they want to make sure that they're providing quality care as well. So, we have a number of dashboards, we're capturing, each of those kind of KPIs within each kind of phase in the care management process so that they can understand, okay, how well are we implementing? Where's the slowness? Let's identify areas where we need to improve. And again, that, will hopefully inform the customer to improve their workflows as needed. And then we are kind of applying the same thing on the utilization management side of thing, where what are those KPIs that, are most pertinent to utilization management? Turnaround times essentially is that main KPI. So kind of, again, filtering through a suite of dashboards within the admin portal specifically, so that their managers of the program and even, CMOs, chief medical officers can see and, how effective, again, they are in the US side of things.
I think, one of the questions that we often get when we're launching new features and functionalities is, what are we solving for, right? What are the pain points we've heard from clients? Because so many of our new features and functions are client driven. What are we solving for that we're hearing from clients they don't have, or that they are spending too much time and energy and cycles on, in their own business?
Yeah, I mean, I think those pain points, right, as I mentioned, it kind of depends really on the type of customer or type of client. But, I think for the client or the customer that doesn't necessarily have their own internal technical analytics team, right, this would be a quick solution to, again, access those insights. And, even for the customers that have those internal analytics teams, it still, takes time, right, to kind of build out those data flows and build out those, those kind of customer specific dashboards in your own environment. What HELIOSinsights is aiming to do, again, is just kind of accelerate that speed to insight, speed to value when it comes to understanding how well, again, how effective you are in these workflows.
That totally makes sense. And speed to value is obviously a key term we use around our business all the time, right? In terms of how are we reducing friction and increasing that speed to value. One of the other keywords I've heard a lot is the democratization of analytics, right? So can you talk about who this is for within an organization and how we're making that data accessible and usable for clients?
So these collection of dashboards would be accessible within the admin portal. And, typically admins or administrators within the platform will be able to, and these are folks that, at a high level, maybe manage a collection of care managers on the care management side. On the US side, you're kind of managing, those users that are kind of participating in kind of resolving those authorization processes, right? So these are kind of high level folks who, again, can, who need to know, right, how effective they are in kind of implementing these workflows, and then who have the authority to make changes where necessary. And, we're also thinking about other types of users as well from a HELIOSinsights standpoint. Again, I mentioned, high level C-suite folks, right? I'm thinking of the chief medical officer who has, compliance mandates, maybe KPI goals and initiatives. We're thinking about, okay, for those folks, what KPIs are most important, or what metrics are most important for them to understand and quickly get insights so that they can understand, in real time, what's the status of their operation.
That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for sharing. I think one of the other things that we often hear from our clients, a lot of whom are state or federally regulated, is about compliance, right? So how do we think about reporting in HELIOSinsights in the context of compliance reporting to our partners or organizations or governing bodies? How do we work through that?
Yeah, so another component or offering is specifically focusing on compliance reporting, specifically our customers, right, who must adhere to CMS regulations. Specifically, what that looks like are ODAG and CDAG reports, right? So what we're offering within the compliance suite is a collection of those ODAG and CDAG reports, where with the click of a button and just applying your kind of specific parameter values, right, of like how far back you want to pull data and other kind of parameter values, you'll be able to, with a click of a button, capture all of the requirements for that particular CMS report and be able to export it, right? And be able to view, that data. And then we also have a partner that we're working with where they have expertise on CMS compliance. So ensuring that, folks are prepared for that CMS audit. They have a product actually called the CMS Scrubber. With our compliance suite, you'll be able to export those outputs, right? And then upload it into the scrubber, where the scrubber will be able to relay any sort of flags that you might need to know, right, to ensure that you pass that audit, because they have hundreds of rules that they kind of check for, using that kind of that output, that CMS, ODAG, CDAG output, and then we'll identify flags that are kind of operational related, data related, but we'll present those flags so that you can ensure you pass that audit. Because I know it takes a while for that process, that pre-audit process to, for existing organizations, this process will be, very, very fast.
A lot of these organizations, from my understanding, have different levels of sophistication and different levels of staffing and resources to support their analytics needs. So some organizations are going to have SQL ninjas, they can write all their own stuff, and some are going to want it done for them. So one of the other pieces too is, if I'm a client who wants you to do it for me, what are the options there? How do I get the support if I don't have it internally to make this valuable?
Absolutely. So, I think with each kind of package, right, where you would have, access to dashboards that would also include a dedicated analytics resource from my team to help really fine tune and meet the requirements specific to you with regards to those visualizations, those KPIs, those metrics that you would want to see in your suite of dashboards. Again, we have our template, right, that we're kind of utilizing and will innovate over time that, we believe will meet, I'd say 90% of the need, but, you have that dedicated resource to kind of fine tune as you see fit. And as your business and operations evolve as well, right? There can be changes to, how your operation is implemented. Again, that dedicated resource will be there throughout the whole process.
So if 6 months down the road, I have a change in needs or an additional line of business or something like that, there's a services component to this where I can get help along the line.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that resource I think is crucial to help, for not only the customer, but also for, virtual health as well. Because we're thinking about, this isn't a static suite of insights, right? We know that, things change with regards to what our customers want to see. So we want to kind of have our own type, healthy feedback loop of innovation so that we can make sure that, we're applying, the changes that, that may not just apply to one customer, but for all.
This is great. Thanks for sharing, Kelechi. If there's one mantra I've heard many times that I feel like is relevant, it's you can't improve what you can't measure, right? And we hear this from clients all the time, that having the right data in the right place at the right time is critical to making improvements for the members that they serve. And it's great to see that you and your team are impacting that for our clients in a way that they can manage right within the Helios ecosystem. So thanks for taking a little time to share. And we're looking forward to having some follow-up conversations with you in the future as we continue to evolve this product.